Konnichiwa minasan, and welcome back to my channel. Last week, it was my birthday, and I turned 30. It feels exactly the same. I don't know what I was expecting. I think 29 was weirder. Anticipating turning 30 was way weirder, and it made me panic a little bit more, and actually turning 30 was really comforting. The only thing that truly made me feel weird about turning 30 was the fact that my mom was pregnant with me when she was 30. So I always thought as a child that by the time I hit 30, I would probably be thinking about children by then. And I'm not really. I'm interested, obviously, and eventually I think Mike and I will start a family, but I feel very immature, and because I don't really feel any differently from when I was maybe like 25 or 26, I don't really feel like it would be appropriate for Mike and I to attempt to take care of a human baby, especially because I love Peanut and Ume more than anything in my life, and yet Peanut has a lot of diarrhea going on right now, and that upsets me, and I feel like that's not supposed to upset a mom, and yeah, I'm just not ready for it, right? That was a very weird, unnecessary ramble that nobody asked for. Anyway, I have always wanted to make a 30 things or like 50 things about me video, but I never found a good reason to, and then I always kind of missed timings and things like that. So I felt like this makes sense, a 30 things about me now that I turned 30. A lot of you probably know a bunch of these already, or they won't be surprises, especially if you've been following me for a while from like SourceFed, let's say, because a lot of these got revealed during things like Table Talk and just, you know, being on camera for X many years with them. But I do think I snuck a few in there that I don't think I've ever talked about before, so I hope you find it interesting. Before I begin my 30 things about me, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and like this video if you are enjoying it so far. Okay. 30. Number 1, Scully is not my real name. It is just a stage name. My real last name is also the name of a car company, even though my family and I have nothing to do with them. I wish. I was born in Shizuoka, Japan, in a small town that is very close to Mount Fuji, and my entire family still lives there. I moved to the US when I was 3. I am married to my childhood friend. We met in middle school, and we've been friends ever since. We dated in high school for a moment, and they broke up with me on New Year's. I used to be very overweight when I was a child, and to prove it, here are some pictures. Yes, Reina. And people don't believe me for some reason, so here's a picture with me and my mom. So yeah, I used to be pretty overweight. That was around, what, like 4th grade, 5th grade, something like that. And then in middle school, I was totally slimmed down. I lost all my baby fat. But a lot of people ask me what all these necklines are, and like, I wish I could get rid of them too, but it's because I used to be very overweight. I had many chins. Although I collect Pikachus, Bulbasaur and Raichu are actually my favorite Pokemon, and I have a special place in my heart for Jirachi. I have 2 cats, Ume and Peanut. They are both girls. Mike and I got Peanut when we were in college. She followed us home. I believe it was a total of 2 times, so we took her. And then Ume was originally our cat. She was adopted by us, but then she didn't get along with Peanut, so we gave her to my mom, and then we got her back when my mom moved back to Japan 2-3 years ago? Ooh, 2 years ago. All right, I was an absolute narc when I was a kid. This is really bad. I was a rat. I hated when people cheated on tests, and I didn't understand why we wouldn't rat out the kid that's cheating. So I would stand up and go, that kid's cheating, he's cheating, she's cheating, and I would rat everyone out. And needless to say, that habit got bullied right out of me. And I obviously understand not to rat people out. I get that, but I still to this day don't quite understand protecting somebody that does something wrong. I don't know. All right, whatever, never mind. I'm not gonna talk about it. I feel like this is really bad territory. I don't know. See, I can't have a kid. I'm gonna teach it weird shit. This shit's crazy too. And anybody from high school can verify that this actually happened. I was dared to interview for a job at Express with an English accent. For fun, just for fun. I did it and I got the job, and then I kind of really wanted it, so I took it, and then I had to fake an English accent for a whole year, and it was totally worth it. I used to volunteer at an Alzheimer's clinic all throughout high school, and I also used to volunteer tutoring autistic children throughout middle and high school. I am allergic to kiwis, mangoes, and beer. It's not actually beer. They say it's the hops in beer that I'm allergic to. Before we started college, I had a sip of beer, and it made my lips blow up, and it made me feel very nauseous, and it made me throw up immediately. And I just thought, oh, I guess I'm just one of those Asian lightweights, but that is not the case. Lo and behold, I am allergic to hops. I don't know anyone else that's like allergic to beer like that. But when I was a baby, I was allergic to everything under the sun until I hit the age of 3, so I didn't have any teeth, and I barely had any fingernails until I was 3. But look at how healthy I am now. My first real job ever was at a Chinese food place, and it is still my favorite in the world. It's Manhing from Fair Lawn, New Jersey, and I dare you to find somebody that can take a phone order faster than me. My favorite anime of all time is Detective Conan, as in Meitante Conan, as in case closed, but I don't like to acknowledge that English name. My favorite genre of anime is slice of life and comedy. My second favorite anime of all time would have to be Azumanga Daioh, and Daily Lives of High School Boys would be a close third. I believe the game no one can beat me at is Pokemon Snap for the N64. I truly thought they were gonna make one for the Wii U because, you know, it made sense with the camera physics, kind of like Fatal Frame, which they also failed at. Anyway, I really believe I am the best at Pokemon Snap. I will smack that Mew until I get that perfect shot. I hate that you have to smack the Mew, but I kind of like it because I don't really like Mew, so I like that you have to hit it. It's fucked up. See why I can't have kids? My all-time favorite American TV shows are Friends, X-Files, Two Guys and a Girl, or Two Guys, a Girl in a Pizza Place, and The Big Bang Theory. I know that show is extremely problematic, but I watched it during a time where I truly felt like nerds were taking off and winning, and it felt very, very cool watching a show like that, so I totally understand that it's problematic. If anything, it is my guilty pleasure. But yes, genuinely love Friends and X-Files. I feel like I know so much trivia about both those shows. Two Guys and a Girl I really love because Mike and I used to watch it in high school on the Women's Entertainment Network before anybody would watch it or know what it was, and we were both very in love with Ryan Reynolds, so that was really funny. And I really, really like Sharon because I had a bunch of dude friends and I was an only child, so I very much felt like they were taking me in, and I felt like I had a bunch of brothers. So yeah, special place in my heart. My parents were divorced when I was 6 or 7, but they are still very, very good friends to this day. They hang out and stuff, and it's really weird. My favorite foods, in no specific order, are tonkotsu shoyu ramen, fried chicken, sundubu, al pastor tacos, lomo saltado. I love everything. This was a stupid list to start making. My favorite bands or music artists are Metallica, System of a Down, Scars on Broadway, and Panic at the Disco. That would pretty much be it. And I don't know what happened to me, but over the last, I'd say, year and a half, maybe 2 years, I have not enjoyed music whatsoever. I really don't enjoy new music, but I just don't really like listening to music. It's very weird, but yeah, it's something that I'm kind of dealing with. But I did realize that everything that I used to enjoy a lot and listen to heavily during college is something I still very much enjoy, which happens to be Metallica, System of a Down, and Panic, and Scars. System of a Down and Scars are kind of one and the same, except I had to put Scars on the list because I love Surge, but I don't listen to Surge as much as I listen to Scars on Broadway, and I still would rather listen to Scars. I don't know. Anyway, my favorite American cartoon of all time is Daria. Nothing on earth can ever dethrone it. It will always, always be #1 in my world. Mainly, I have a lot of reasons, but mainly because they are set in a town called Lawndale, and it is suburban heaven, and Mike and I grew up in Fairlawn, and it was also suburban heaven, and they went to Lawndale High, and we went to Fairlawn High, and their high school felt so much like our high school. There was a weird, like, it was pretty diverse, and everybody got along really well with each other. There was no legitimate bullying necessarily, and a lot of the issues were kind of like resolved within themselves, and it felt very much like my high school. So I don't know, while I was watching it, it was really, really big for me to see it replicated in real life almost. I really love Dario, whatever. I don't want them to remake it, I don't think, because I really like that there is this snapshot of high school that they created for me. Halo, Smash Bros, and Pokemon are my favorite franchises, gaming franchises of all time. Mainly because, well, Halo, I played all throughout college with Mike, and it was a very big deal for me that I was good at a first-person shooter for the first time ever. And with Smash Bros, I have a deep history with that personally. I never owned an N64, but my cousin did, who I was very close with, and every summer when I'd go to Japan, we'd play together, but she would train me, and she was very, very, very good. She still is. So she would make me play a lot on a lot of different difficulties and levels, and I learned a lot of tricks, and then I came back being super good, and it felt very, very good. So I kept playing it, and then my group of friends all continued to play it throughout our lives, and now I can't believe there's going to be a Smash 5. That's freaking nuts. I'm so happy. What world do I live in? I didn't know I'd get all these things as an adult. I didn't know I'd get to enjoy all of this as a 30-year-old. This is amazing. I really miss working at the curry house in Little Tokyo. It was one of my favorite jobs. I used to be an apprentice pastry chef for a French-Japanese bakery, and I specialized in chocolates and wedding cakes, which is foolish because I don't like sweets. I used to get surgery very often because I used to get ovarian cysts. My first one was when I was 15, and it was an emergency, and my mom was very frightened, and it was over 10 pounds, and it had, sorry if you're squeamish, don't listen to this, it had blood, hair, and teeth inside of it. So I think I ate my twin? My favorite uploads from Super Panic Frenzy are Self-Defense for Dummies, What Can Reina Reach, and Human Centipede the Game. Well, yeah, my voice, the one you hear now, used to not be my real voice. That's a weird thing to say, let me explain. About 4 years ago, before I auditioned for SourceFed, I got really, really sick. I believe it was a post-nasal drip that turned into bronchitis, and instead of staying low during the recovery period, I went back to work, and I was working in a restaurant at the time, and I was in the kitchen, so you have to yell out orders really, really loud, like from your diaphragm, but also like you kind of have to hit a different pitch when you're in the kitchen. And I worked through it, and I completely bruised and damaged my vocal cords. They thought it was nodes because of how different it sounded all of a sudden, and how like I couldn't get my windpipes to do certain things. But yeah, it was just my vocal cords. They're called bruised, or they're in a state where they're bruised right now, and it's really funky because if I ever get sick enough where I have to take certain types of steroids, my original voice comes back, and it's really freaky. So there is a theory among my doctors where if I were to take a regimen of certain steroids, I would get my original voice back. But the steroids are crazy expensive, and they have a lot of weird side effects, and there is no proof that I would actually even get my voice back after finishing the regimen of medicine or steroids or whatever. So that is why I'm stuck with this.
That's okay.
I got used to it, but whenever I visit Japan and talk to my grandparents or my aunts and uncles, they are very, very aware of it because they know what I've sounded like for 26 years prior, and they now call me Dora-chan, as in Doraemon, because Doraemon lost his voice in the same-ish manner. Not really, he actually cried into the night all night while he was sick in the water, which is why he lost his voice, and he has that like raspy husky thing going on, so that's why my family calls me Dora-chan. And that is it. 30 things about me because I turned 30. Well, 30-ish things about me anyway. I think I rambled a little bit. This weekend, I'm gonna be at Crunchyroll Expo and San Jose, and I'm very, very excited about it. I love anime conventions. They are always my favorites. I believe I have signings and panels and all this other shebang bang that I will reveal soon on my social media, so please be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I don't know why I'd forget Instagram. That was weird. Anyway, thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Sonja mata ne! One last quick thing. A lot of people ask me what it is I say at the end, sonja mata ne, which is a abbreviated slang version of sore de wa mata ne, which is, well then I'll see you again, or I'll see you again soon. And I say it in that exact sing-song weird slang manner because it is the last line that Yukari sensei from Azumanga Daioh says in the show. That's how she leaves them after they graduate. And I don't know why, but I kind of wanted something in my videos that gave a hat tip to Azumanga Daioh because it's one of my most favorite shows, so that's what that is. Sonja mata ne!